A woman walks up to the entrance of an elegant boutique. The door gently swings open as she steps inside. She pauses for a moment to take in the surroundings: soft lighting, polished floors, and neatly arranged clothes on the racks. The boutique feels calm, almost like a sanctuary for fashion. It's one of those high-end stores where everything looks pristine, too perfect to touch. She's dressed casually, in a simple t-shirt and jeans, but she carries herself with confidence. Her steps are light, almost excited. She doesn't want to look out of place, but she's here with a purpose. A small, quiet part of her wonders if she belongs in a place like this. But then again, she deserves to be here, just as much as anyone. Her eyes skim over the items on the racks: luxurious fabrics, delicate patterns, and beautifully crafted pieces. She pulls a soft sweater from one of the racks and feels the fabric between her fingers, a smile pulling at the corners of her lips. This feels like the kind of place where she could find something special, something just for her. The store is quiet, with only one other customer lingering in the background. The woman's gaze drifts to the counter, where the sales assistant is tidying up. She hopes that, maybe, this time, things will be different. Maybe today, she'll find something that makes her feel like she belongs in a place like this. The woman takes a few more steps into the store, still holding the sweater. She runs her fingers along the fabric, feeling its softness. As she moves down the aisle, she glances around, taking in the carefully arranged clothes. The boutique feels like a world of its own, a place where fashion and art meet. She lets out a small breath, excited but unsure of what to do next. At that moment, the sales assistant notices her. The assistant is tall, dressed in a chic black uniform. She gives the woman a quick once-over, her gaze not entirely welcoming. The woman feels a shift in the air, like she's been sized up. The assistant approaches her, but there's something in the way she moves that makes the woman feel small. "Can I help you with anything?" the assistant asks, her tone polite but distant. The woman smiles, trying to ease the tension. "I'm just browsing, thank you," she replies, holding the sweater closer, as if for reassurance. The assistant nods, her eyes briefly scanning the woman's outfit. There's a slight pause, like the assistant is assessing whether this woman belongs here. She offers no further warmth or encouragement. Instead, she simply steps back, moving slowly toward the register, keeping a careful distance. The woman looks at the items on the rack again. She feels a flutter of discomfort, but tries to ignore it. She's been here before. Places like this, with their exclusive vibe, can be intimidating. But she doesn't want to let that stop her. She deserves to be here, just as much as anyone else. She walks to another section, quietly picking up a few more items, hoping to shake off the awkward feelings settling in her chest. But the assistant's eyes are still on her. The woman can feel it. She's being watched. The woman holds a beautiful dress in her hands, studying the fabric. It's delicate and luxurious, exactly the kind of piece she's always dreamed of owning. She imagines herself wearing it, the way it would feel, so different from her usual routine. The price tag, however, is a reminder that this dress is far from ordinary. But for a moment, she dares to dream. Just as she starts to imagine what it might be like to try it on, she hears footsteps behind her. The assistant, once again, has appeared. This time, her presence feels less like an offer of help, and more like an intrusion. The woman looks up, meeting her eyes. "That one," the assistant says, glancing at the dress in her hands. "It's a bit out of your price range." The words hit harder than expected. The woman's heart skips a beat, a flush rising to her cheeks. She tries to brush it off, pretending like it didn't sting, but it's impossible to ignore the judgment in the assistant's voice. It's not a question. It's a statement. A reminder of her place. I just wanted to see it," the woman says, her voice trailing off. The assistant doesn't respond immediately. Instead, she shifts her weight from one foot to the other, her eyes scanning the room as if looking for something or someone more interesting to attend to. The woman's fingers tighten around the fabric of the dress, feeling the coolness of the fabric against her skin. It's beautiful, but now it feels like an impossible dream. She places the dress back on the rack, slowly, trying not to make it too obvious. The assistant continues to watch her, not offering any further assistance, just standing there as if waiting for her to leave. The woman takes a step back and moves toward a different section of the store. But no matter where she goes, she can't shake the feeling that the assistant is following her. It's not an overt action, but it's there. The watchful eyes, the calculated distance. Every time she reaches for something, it's as if the assistant is silently waiting for her to make a mistake. The air in the store has shifted. What was once a place of possibility now feels like a space that doesn't quite welcome her. Just as the woman begins to feel the weight of the cold atmosphere, the door to the boutique opens with a soft chime. The woman glances up, momentarily distracted by the sound. She watches as a celebrity walks in, instantly drawing the attention of everyone in the room. The woman recognizes her immediately. It's a famous actress, known for her roles in hit movies and her glamorous lifestyle. She strides into the store with an air of confidence, a small entourage following closely behind. The celebrity is dressed in a sleek, eye-catching outfit, something that looks expensive and effortlessly stylish. Her presence fills the space, making everything else feel a little smaller. The assistant, who had been standing in the corner, snaps to attention the moment the celebrity enters. A smile stretches across her face as she quickly approaches, her demeanor completely changing. It's like the shift in energy is instantaneous. She goes from aloof and distant to warm and eager. "Welcome. How can I help you today?" the assistant asks, her voice sweet and inviting, a complete contrast to the tone she had used with the woman moments earlier. The celebrity offers a polite smile but doesn't seem overly interested in the store. "Just looking," she says casually, but the assistant practically beams at the response. She leads the celebrity through the store, pointing out items with a level of enthusiasm that the woman never received. Each piece is presented with reverence, as if it were a treasure. The woman stands back, watching the scene unfold. Her eyes linger on the celebrity, her gaze following the assistant and the way she caters to every need, every request. It's as though the assistant is willing to bend over backward to please her. There are no judgmental glances, no cold comments, just attention and care. The woman feels a pang in her chest, a quiet discomfort. The assistant, who had been so dismissive just moments ago, is now practically fawning over the celebrity. She watches them move through the store, and the contrast is stark. There is no warmth left for her, no effort to make her feel comfortable, seen, or important. The celebrity tries on a few outfits, and the assistant compliments her, admiring her choices and offering suggestions. It's as though the store has completely transformed, catering to the celebrity's every whim. Meanwhile, the woman is left standing in the background, feeling more and more invisible. The assistant leads the celebrity to a private area of the store where a few exclusive pieces are displayed. She's practically glowing as she talks about the items, pointing out the fine details with exaggerated enthusiasm. "This one's limited edition," the assistant says. "You won't find anything like it anywhere else." The celebrity nods, looking interested but not captivated. She reaches for a high-end jacket, admiring the fabric, while the assistant hovers nearby, eager to offer more information. "We have some of the best designers in the world," the assistant continues, "and these pieces are hand-picked just for you." The woman watches from a distance, her heart sinking as she sees the special treatment. The assistant is practically on her knees in a way, offering a VIP experience that feels worlds apart from how she was treated earlier. The woman feels her stomach tighten, a bitter taste in her mouth. She was invisible a moment ago, and now she's left in the background while someone else is the center of attention. Meanwhile, the assistant continues to fawn over the celebrity, showing her another dress. "This is perfect for you," the assistant gushes. "I can already see it on you." The woman feels a small pang of jealousy, mixed with frustration. The celebrity doesn't seem to notice the assistant's over-the-top attention, but the woman sees it clearly. The assistant is bending over backwards to accommodate her. The woman picks up another dress, trying to focus on the fabric, but her hands are shaking slightly. She can feel the weight of the situation pressing down on her. It's like she's become a shadow in the store, unnoticed, ignored. No one seems to care that she's here, that she has the right to be here. As the celebrity tries on a pair of shoes, the assistant insists on taking photos. "Just a few quick shots," she says, already holding up her phone. The celebrity smiles, posing effortlessly, while the assistant snaps away. The woman watches this, feeling the emptiness inside grow. She starts to question herself, wondering what it is about her that makes her invisible, makes her different from the celebrity. She hadn't asked for special treatment, but she had hoped for some respect, a simple acknowledgement. Instead, all she's gotten is cold indifference. Her eyes flicker to the celebrity, who is now laughing with the assistant, as if they've known each other for years. The assistant's attention never wavers from the celebrity. It's clear where the store's priorities lie, and it's not with her. The woman's grip tightens around the dress she's holding. She's just another shopper now, left to stand in the corner while the real customer gets the royal treatment. She doesn't belong here. Not really. She can feel it in every glance, every action the assistant takes. The woman's eyes remain fixed on the scene unfolding in front of her. The assistant is practically hovering over the celebrity, offering compliments, suggestions, and taking photos. The woman feels the weight of it all, the stark difference in how she's being treated versus how the celebrity is being showered with attention. Her hands feel clammy as she tightens her grip on the dress in her hands. The store no longer feels like a welcoming space. It's an exclusive world for people who belong, people who fit the image of what the boutique represents. The woman starts to feel the discomfort growing within her chest, the realization settling in that she's just an outsider here. As she starts to turn toward the door, preparing to leave, she hears the assistant's voice behind her. The assistant is now smiling, walking toward her with a sudden shift in attitude. "Excuse me," the assistant says in a much softer tone than before. "I just wanted to let you know that we're offering a special discount today. Here's a card you can use." The woman pauses, unsure of how to respond. She looks at the card, then back at the assistant, who is now smiling warmly. The offer feels hollow, almost as if it's an afterthought, a last-minute attempt to acknowledge her presence after the cold treatment she's already experienced. She takes the card, but there's no joy in the gesture. The moment is tainted. The woman smiles politely, but it feels forced, disconnected. The assistant's sudden change in demeanor doesn't erase the awkwardness she's already felt. It's like a band-aid on a wound that's already cut too deep. The woman glances one last time at the celebrity, still being pampered, and turns toward the door. Her steps are slow, and her head is held a little lower than when she first walked in. The excitement she felt earlier is gone, replaced by a quiet sadness. She leaves the store, the door swinging softly behind her. The weight of the experience lingers as she steps back into the world outside. Outside the boutique, the woman steps onto the sidewalk, the cool air brushing against her face. She walks slowly, her thoughts swirling. The bustling city feels distant, like a different world, compared to the small space she just left behind. She thinks about the way she was treated, the subtle rejection she felt, and the glaring contrast when the celebrity entered. It wasn't just about the clothes, it was about how she was seen. Or rather, how she wasn't seen. She can't help but wonder why things had to be this way. Why was she judged before she even had a chance? Why was the celebrity treated with such reverence, while she was dismissed without a second thought? The woman's heart aches a little, but there's also a spark of something else. An understanding. She knows this wasn't about her. It was about assumptions, about biases, about the way society sometimes places value on appearances and status. She shakes her head slightly, pushing the thoughts aside. She knows she can't change the way others see her, but she won't let it define her. There are other places, other boutiques where she'll be valued for who she truly is. With a deep breath, she walks on, her steps a little firmer than before.